Hello and welcome to the Metropolitan Elites. Although we have newspapers here, they're not real newspapers. These are special lizard-style newspapers that they've changed the news differently to bias the left, to the left biased. So yeah, what's your moment of the week this week?
Oh, my moment of the week is Prime Minister's question time. Being a Corbynista, I'm one of these people who's likes to give Jeremy Corbyn a lot of leeway, but it was genuinely his worst performance
Oh really?
at PMQs, yeah.
Right.
But that's not the issue. The issue was at the end of PMQs, every week you have this spectacle of David Cameron reeling out this pre-written farcical diatribe.
There's nothing to do with.
There's nothing to do with what anyone's asked or anything like that, and it's really negative. And this week it didn't happen because David Cameron was being quite conciliatory, because obviously he made quite a few screw ups, not least the calling the Nigeria and Afghanistan fantastically corrupt in front of the TV cameras, and he was quite, he was playing it quite easily. Actually, it was one of Jeremy Corbyn's worst performances at Question Time, but it was one of David Cameron's best performances at Question Time. It just goes to show when he stops,
his PR.
the crap, it actually comes across a lot better. Yeah, so that was my moment of the week. It was a sort of, it was a sort of glimpse of how politics could be. It's still a rowdy affair, and there's still a lot of the cut and thrust of PMQs going on.
Yeah.
But it wasn't quite so nasty, and it was just a much more pleasant affair.
That's interesting. I read about, maybe it was maybe it was last week, where Tim Farron, I can actually remember his name. It is Tim, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Farron, asking David Cameron to tell us about this stuff about the corruption, and you've been cheating in the general election and all that. And Cameron's response was, ah ha ha ha, Liberal Democrats, ha 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 ha.
He did do that this week. Tim Farron, to be fair, asked the Prime Minister to apologise for the Sadiq Khan thing. And,
I was the Sadiq Khan.
Yeah, Cameron just made a joke
The Dems.
at his expense, which was faintly ridiculous, but there you go.
Yeah. So anyway, my moment of the week, Prince Charles reveals I treat cows homeopathically. We're not royalists, are we? And
but we're not anti-royalists.
We're not. Yeah, we just kind of don't care, do we?
We're nothing. We don't. We don't really.
And this is in the week when the Queen had said something inappropriate about saying Chinese people, the Chinese officials were rude. And I was very much, the Queen has a pretty spotless record on not saying, that's really impressive. Whatever you think of him, whatever. But this reminds us that really.
He's a bit of a card, isn't he, Prince Charles? But actually, I think he's pretty harmless. I have nothing against Prince Charles. There are things he cares about: architecture and farming.
He says incredibly stupid
medicine, but that's his passion. So what?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Do you believe the thing that they're not supposed to have an opinion or this? And Prince Charles does the exact opposite of the Queen, doesn't he? He says all sorts of stuff. But when you don't care. So yeah, the proper news. Where do we start? Which one should we do first?
Well, should we do it more broadly? Because I think broadly this week, because basically the European thing's getting going. But there is a little bit of news that we might want to cover.
Well, I think, was it today? This is Friday. The IMF person did a proper, it's Armageddon, it's all going to explode, oh my god. And I think it's absolutely their right to predict stuff. The language used was perhaps inappropriate and obviously biased, etc. So that wasn't really appropriate. And then of course someone on the Leave side says, "Oh, you're bullying me. I'm being bullied." I really find that it's just nonsense. These are the people who probably were real bullies. "Oh, you're bullying me by disagreeing with me. Oh no."
Yeah, it has. The local elections are out of the way. We're now into full European
nonsense
referendum campaign. 6 weeks of nonsense to go.
Yeah.
And you're right. Christine Lagarde's come out and said, "Oh, it's either bad or very, very bad."
Yeah, that's what
which is surprising, because institutions like that are normally very cagey about interfering in in people's decisions and affairs. And normally it would be couched in the sort of vagaries, look, it's up to the people of Britain to vote the way they want to vote, and I'm sure they'll make the right decision, they'll weigh up all the facts. But when we look at it, it looks like there'll be an economic impact.
Yes, and a proper report explaining the details of it. Not, it's going to be the end of the world, oh my God.
But it seems we're having this wave of people coming out saying how awful it'll be, with very little information.
Yeah, they'll tell us why, they're just saying, oh well.
So, I mean, the front page on The Guardian, on the website today, was a whole ream of people saying how bad it would be. Eddie Izzard's going to do 31 shows and 31 days to promote staying in the Euro. Gary Kasparov, great chess player, I mean, awesome chess player.
Interesting.
He's weighing in saying Brexit would be disastrous for Britain and stuff like that. And it just kind of underlines the fact that, one, if it's such a dire situation if we leave...
Yeah, we shouldn't have been given the vote.
It's like giving...
It's not bad.
A guy or a person, a mental patient with suicidal tendencies, a gun.
Yeah.
Have a gun.
It's your freedom to choose.
So that's ridiculous.
They don't really know what's going to happen. And actually the information there was uncertainty. Yeah. And uncertainty does bring problems, but it's uncertain.
We've been told for years that staying in Europe is a slam dunk, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the slam dunk. I'm waiting for that little bit of information that explains exactly why it's so fundamental that we be in Europe.
Yeah.
And I'm not particularly Eurosceptic. I've been very pro.
Well, we're properly on the fence, aren't we?
Yeah.
And so we must be the only people in the country who are on the fence.
All right, man. I still genuinely don't know which way I'm going to vote. I would have said if you'd asked last year when it went into the Conservatives' manifesto that they were going to do a referendum, I would have said at that point I'd be voting to stay in.
Yeah, wouldn't we?
Yeah, but
we didn't have the information.
As I look at it more and more, I'm thinking it's not quite so clear cut. There is definitely a bit of weighing up to do, and all these attacks that come out, or all these things, just all they're doing is feeding the anti-establishment.
Yes, exactly.
It's not really addressing the EU referendum.
It's not going to have the opposite effect.
No, it's just saying it's just been dumped onto the establishment, aligning up against normal people, which for people like me, sort of left-leaning, which we're being told are crucial for Britain to stay in the EU.
We're not worried about the foreigners.
We're not worried about foreigners. There's a genuine concern about sovereignty and national identity and that sort of thing. So
democracy, we're worried about actually being a democracy.
Yeah, so I mean it's...
And on the other side, of course, you've got Boris is threatening ITV because ITV decided it's going to be Cameron versus Nigel Farage debate. And of course the Brexiters are saying, what? No, we want Boris, and we want someone reliable and sensible and not... And it would have the same effect having Farage on TV going blah, 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 like he does. Turns people off, people hate him. Probably more people hate him than like him. Yeah. So that having him on has a political effect.
I mean, David Cameron thinks this is a win, yeah. He doesn't want to be debating Conservatives, which is sensible actually for the Conservative Party.
For the party, yeah.
For the unity of the Conservative Party. He thinks, debating Farage is a win for him because Farage turns people off. But I just remember what happened when Nick Clegg debated Farage. Everyone assumed that Nick Clegg would win that hands down. Yeah. And actually, it didn't happen.
No.
I think Cameron's playing with fire. It could seriously backfire on him.
Yeah, I mean, on TV, Farage will be the shouty, blah, 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 blah. But in terms of... And if they did a TV phone-in vote, Farage would win. But I don't think that would translate into votes on the actual thing.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because the people watching that show, the angry people, would side with him, which is what happened with Nick Clegg. Nick Clegg was just sort of...
It is also two Conservative figures. Farage will have a lot of supporters in the ranks of Conservative.
The right and the far right arguing with each other. Over how many foreigners to kill.
So even though this is done from David Cameron's point of view, in order to save the party, it's not necessarily going to have that effect, because it could encourage Conservative voters to vote for Nigel Farage.
Yeah, it could help UKIP tremendously after the vote. It could be a big thing to keep them going.
I didn't really want to talk about Jeremy Corbyn this week, because we do a lot of Jeremy Corbyn, but I do actually feel that the way to get left-leaning voters to vote for staying in, to solidify that vote, is for Jeremy Corbyn to actually convincingly come out and make
the problem is, no one's convinced that he's convinced.
Well, he has. That's why it has to be a convincing thing, which is, I think, where he was going at PMQs.
Right.
He was sort of talking about a fairly arcane piece of European legislation regarding posted workers. But I think he was trying to put his slant on the European argument, sort of set that up.
Right.
Because theoretically he's coming out to talk about Europe now. But we've had Gordon Brown come out and make a thing, and the idea is that Gordon Brown can start to win over Labour voters. That ship's sailed.
He was the same, wasn't he? Gordon Brown was, end of the world, explosions, death.
I mean, that ship has sailed. I don't think Gordon Brown is gonna. No. There's not going to be many people that Gordon Brown could convince.
But apparently, in real life, if you go and see him talk, it's a very different thing to watch him on the TV.
Who's that?
Gordon Brown. Gordon Brown. Yeah, on TV, he doesn't. He's not a PR image like Cameron, is he? No. Apparently in real life though, he's very persuasive and...
I can sort of imagine that. I think Jeremy Corbyn's the same thing. It's a different... When he's at his rallies and he's, talking to people, trying to get them to... He's very likeable and convincing, I would imagine.
Yeah.
He doesn't do the...
He just looks like a boring man on TV, doesn't he? Yeah. Thank you very much. More news next week from the news, which is all lies and bias. The Metropolitan Elite's bias. These two are so biased, it's untrue. Who are they? Who are these two people biased?
We didn't do our Reddit poll.
Oh no! Next week we'll do another Reddit poll.
Yeah, we'll do another Reddit poll or a Facebook thing next week. So maybe we fill one out, you never know.
Yeah, right, yeah. See you next week.